Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup, my friends. These tarot readings are meant to motivate, empower, and inspire you. Please keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch these general readings, as some material will resonate and some might not. Do have faith it is serving someone out there, and take away only what resonates for you. Please release the rest. Feel free to book a personal reading with me if you would like something catered specifically to your inquiries and energy. That information is down below for you. You are responsible for all actions and decisions and the vibe that you bring to this channel. This is optional advice or guidance, and of course, you will always have free will. Check the box below for my social media links, the decks I use, and more information on this channel. Let's hop into your tarot reading. What's up, Capricorn? Annie here at the Intuitive Teacup. So happy to have you here on my channel for Valentine's Day love and romance tarot readings. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about how you can love yourself more. We're going to talk about your positive attributes, what you contribute to a relationship in a higher vibration. We're going to talk about your areas of focus, areas that just need a little bit more attention, a little bit more zhuzhing, right? Areas for growth. And then we're going to talk about who or what is coming into your life romantically. You can always choose to view this through a more platonic lens of family love, best friends. I'm going to read for romantic love. Okay, Capricorn? Take only what resonates, drop the rest. So how can you love yourself more? Of course, you got the Emperor. It's like, go hard on the business endeavors. I don't know if that's the message. Hold on. Let me figure this out. That's just making me laugh already. How can you love yourself more? Honor your need for stability. The Emperor is about tradition, to be honest, and I know that's not the most sexy, fun message, but I think a lot of you at your core might relate to that, in that you, as much as you may like to be adventurous in certain parts of your life, especially maybe romantically, maybe it's like, you're very conservative or traditional in terms of, making money and having a good bank account or whatever, right? Different aspects of your life. It doesn't have to be solely career, but I'm saying it because of the Emperor. It could be that you've tried to venture out of your safety zone, your comfort zone, to try on love with someone it's a little bit weird, it's a little bit wacky, it's a little bit zany. And for that, I say, that's awesome, Capricorn. Good for you for taking, a risk or taking a leap of faith in a new direction. Here's the thing, and I never am dissuading you from doing that, but ultimately what this is saying is that when your gut reaction is like, as much as I want to be that person, I feel like I'm this person and I'm okay with it. That's your, I feel like Spirit is saying yes. Let's hone in on that, because ultimately you can't create a romance or a love relationship on a platform that isn't true to who you are at your core. This feels like, I know all of you are going to be different, right? I know Capricorn energy, sort of, by stereotype. And so I wouldn't say this is my most typical Capricorn message, but I'm just going to give it to you anyway. So this feels like a lot of you may have been persuaded easily by those around you of, well, you don't do this enough, or you don't take risks, or have you ever tried that? And I think you took it very personally. You're very sensitive about something about that. And so it's almost like in a superficial way, this is a metaphor, guys, but it's almost like you were like, I'm going to give myself a makeover because that's going to help me find true love. And then come to find out, whether it did or not, you actually attracted something that you weren't actually in the long haul for. It's not something you typically wanted because you were, again, dressing up or pretending to be something that you weren't for more superficial reasons, to please the family, to please the mother, to, whatever, please the boss. I think this is saying be true to who you are and don't apologize for it. Again, I want to underscore, I'm very much a tarot reader who encourages you to try new things, right? You shouldn't stay completely in the safety zone and never leave the comfort zone. That's not what Spirit would want you to do, right? You're always going to be a growing, developing spiritual being. But ultimately, it's saying you guys kind of already have a good pulse on who you are and what you want in love. So it's not about settling, and it's not about trying to be someone you're not to attract romantic partnership. Have faith that your authenticity, eventually it will connect you to the right person. But there needs to be I'm hearing steadfast. There needs to be a solidity, or what is a good word for it? Stabilize. I'm hearing all these words and I'm having trouble inserting them into a sentence that makes sense, but Emperor. Emperor is like the fourth major arcana, the four corners of a house. There's solidarity there. It's grounded. It's rooted, right? Despite it being a fire energy because it's an Aries card, right? It's saying it's like you've already started to build a foundation, so it's not the time to waver from it. It's like you have to keep growing with your internal truth. Something about an Aries or possibly even a Cancer may be coming through here. So if you're single and looking, there may be something coming through with Aries or Cancer. Also, some of you may need to break away from unfair or unbalanced power dynamics. You could, it doesn't matter the zodiac sign, but it could be that you may have been attracted to people who, like you, Capricorn, see value in status, right? And that's not a bad thing. I don't mean that in a superficial way. It's just you are the mountain goat. You like to ascend, right? It could be that in the past you have been attracted to people who, like you, maybe even another Capricorn or like a Leo, where it's like status is very important to them. But then because of that, there was this power dynamic in your relationship of like, who wears the pants or who's, who leads. Ideally, neither of you do, right? You can complement each other in different areas, but it has to be a team dynamic. And so whoever or whatever the situation was, I'm getting in the past, you guys learned a very difficult, humbling lesson about having an equal power dynamic. And whether you are male or female, it's not about gender. It's not even about cardinal energy, right? You guys are cardinal signs. You're meant to lead. Yes, absolutely. But you can't lead the dynamic. You can't lead the relationship. There does need to be kind of a mutual understanding, right? I'm hearing the word teamwork. So I think that's important. So, so just be cautious of power dynamics that seem unhealthy or toxic or whatever. Most of you seem like you're kind of in a good place right now, even if you're single. It seems like you have a lot to focus on. So, the last card that came out here is express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. Yeah, make the romantic gesture who you see like potential in, but also who's in alignment with your goals and desires and what you want already. The other thing I'm getting from this too is don't choose people who are a project. And again, I don't mean to make this a superficial thing, but this is just how I'm hearing it. So no mean to offend, right? But you may look at something as like, they're so pretty, but if only they had a better job, or they're so handsome, but if only they had a better family dynamic. And you, Capricorn, you're like, well, let me just roll up my sleeves and muscle in there and like, I can fix this. It's not your job to fix it, right? So it's not to say you need to exclude anyone who doesn't fit in that mold of your ideal partnership. It's saying you may need to make small negotiations or compromises, but ultimately if you are in, I think some of you like, no offense guys, but this is especially for my male Capricorns, but it could be female too. You may look at a relationship in terms of, well, I got my work cut out for me, like rolling up your sleeves, like I know what I'm going to do in this relationship, because you feel like you have something to offer. And I think you like seeing the results of your hard work and effort put into something. Unfortunately, that hard work and effort should not be to fix a toxic relationship, right? Everybody is responsible for their own self-healing, their own growth. And that's pretty much it, right? You can wish well on your person, you can support them and love them through their trials and tribulations, but it's not your job to roll up your sleeve and fix their life, right? Build your own empire, right? Find someone who's already started to build theirs and then combine, right? There's a really cool message there. And I don't mean to swing negative, I just think these are just friendly reminders to you, right? So hopefully some of that resonates. Some of you have a beautiful relationship with an Aries, and if it's not here yet, it might be coming in. Although I would argue some of you may even be married to an Aries or a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sag, and it just says, go ahead and express your love, make the romantic gesture. So maybe you're ascending, maybe you're continuing to build with a fire sign or something like that. All right, so this is Spirit giving you a pat on the back, like, hell of a job. I almost called you Aries. That's interesting, so I feel like that's coming out for a reason. And you do have another Aries card here, so this is Spirit giving you a pat on the back. What are you doing positively? How do you positively contribute in relationships? You nip it in the bud. If something's going wrong, you don't mince words. It's not, and this is not negative. This is not saying that you're too blunt or you're savagely honest or, your words are cutting. It's saying, no, if there's an issue, a lot of you are already with a soulmate or you're connecting with one. Even if they're not a romantic partner yet, I would argue you may have a friend who it's like your souls are being guided together. No matter. Four of Wands is an excellent card. It's soulmate. It's 1111. It's divine timing. It's at minimum, again, another 4. A very solid foundation that is being built in romantic partnership. Part of what is contributing to that solid foundation is your ability to see things that are going wrong and immediately be like, hey, let's talk about this. Or, you know what, I don't like this, how can I fix it? Or I'm even going to say you may even be very good and self-aware if you've done a lot of shadow work and healing to turn things back to yourself and like think or say to yourself, I'm not quite feeling it, but is it like, how can I do better? Is it a me issue? So rather than projecting everything onto your partner, well, they don't do this and they don't do that, I think a lot of my Capricorns are more apt to more or less, I'm hearing shoulder the responsibility, but the thing is, it's accountability. That's the word. Thank you, Spirit. And that is a kick-ass energy, Capricorn. I like that. So pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Because it's coming up in your pros, your strengths in a relationship, you have, I would even say, psychic abilities to predict when things may go a little wrong or anticipate what could go wrong and fix it before it happens. There's an expression for that. What is it that I'm thinking of? It's like you safety-proof it. And so I could see where that could swing negative if you're overly cautious, but I'm not getting that because it's coming up in your pros list. So you are cautious, but in a way where you do want future success. And I think Spirit is essentially like, nice. That's a good system for you, Capricorn. Something about that, it's like that's how you operate in romantic partnerships. And then the other one is you have let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. So again, I'm being called to say, I don't know if this was always your story, but a lot of you may have a person in your life that they're just a very good support system for you. And this is non-romantic. It's saying friends, right? It could even be family. This is not your romantic partner. A lot of you do have a person who you feel like you can let your hair down with, who you feel like you can be very raw and vulnerable and real with. And if that's not you currently, you need to seek that out because you need to have an outlet to just be you. No bells and whistles, no this and that, no superficiality, just this is who I am and I'm going through a hard time. Can I talk to you about it? Maybe it's your therapist, right? In which case, Spirit is saying, good. Like you need an outlet to express yourself in all your vulnerabilities and realness. So again, if that's not your current situation, maybe that could help you if you're struggling with something. Others of you, universe is saying, I just heard, don't fire your therapist. Don't quit your therapist. And I mean, it doesn't have to be literally, but again, your best friend, if you guys had a little fight, but that's your person who you guys love each other. You guys are, friends for life. It's saying maybe fix that relationship because it's actually a very good support system. That's a very good ally to have in your life because there's reciprocity. There's a mutual, it's beneficial to keep that relationship in your life. Okay. And again, I would even argue because it's coming up in terms of your friends, you may have just a simple platonic friend, someone you have no interest in dating romantically. It could even be, two guys or two girls or whatever it is, right? Who they are essentially your soulmate, but it doesn't necessarily mean your romantic soulmate. For some reason, in the month of February, Spirit is saying to me, that person's going to help you get by if you're having an issue. So keep the channels of communication open. There's something valuable in that relationship. Others of you already have a friend and they are going to transition into like a romantic partnership for you. All right, so here's where we need to put a little bit more energy. Areas for growth, right? If this is sort of your strengths, we could potentially consider this a weakness. I know, Capricorn, you're like, no, that's not for me. All right, your soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. This is interesting, Capricorn. I actually love this message because it's confirming something I was already feeling, that a lot of you feel like you're struggling in love and you never quite connect to a person. And the thing is, a lot of you, you're overlooking your best friend. You already have a friend in your life that is your soulmate, and I don't know why there's resistance or an apprehension, or it could even just be a naivete, like you just don't realize that's your person yet. So I would, Capricorn, this is such a cute message. It's like, take stock of who's around you. Are you sure there's no one in there that you like? Because here's the message. You tend to go after people who are, and I say you, again, this isn't everyone's message, just hear me out, right? A lot of my Capricorns have made the mistake, it's not a mistake, it's a lesson, of going after people who they're very exciting. I'm hearing like they're very pretty or shiny, fire signs, for example. Like they're very exterior, they're very beautiful, right? And I love me my fire signs. I'm not saying this is always them, but it's like, when you come to get to know that person, whoever the zodiac sign, you start to realize that the external doesn't match the internal, and the internal is actually what you really need to be focusing on. Again, do you have the same goals? Do you have the same dreams? Do you have the same wants and desires? Do you both want to have a family? Do you both want to move to Hawaii? You know what I mean? A lot of my Capricorns in the past have been too focused on the shiny objects when it's more about the substance and the material, my earth signs, of what that person contributes positively to your life. The thing is, you need to look closer. There's already an energy around you, whether it's a coworker or a friend or your barista at the coffee shop, who there's actually soulmate potential here, but you've written them off because they're not as exciting as you would like. Capricorn. Like, you hear me saying this, right? Tradition is important to you. And I think a lot of you are resisting that, and there's nothing wrong with that. By all means, venture outside the comfort zone. Go after the whatever, like the person you don't think, I don't know what this is. It's like you, again, I don't mean to offend. If you feel like you have something to prove by scoring with the prom king, that's sort of what I think it's like in metaphors. Like if you were always like, the nerdy girl in calculus classes, but you always had a thing for like, the high school jock, you're like, I'm going to go bag me one of those now that I'm an adult. But the thing is, you realize, like, someone's like, that's actually not for me. And that's okay. The fact that you went and discovered that it wasn't for you, that's amazing. Ultimately, you need to seek romantic partnership with who matches your long-term dreams and goals. The thing is, you already have someone in your life. Most of you just haven't realized it yet. Or maybe you have, in which case, I don't know why it's coming up in your area of growth. Your soulmate? I guess you just, I don't know what that would be. Let's find out more. So Capricorn's already with someone that they're into. Why is this coming up? I mean, this is a beautiful card to have as your struggle. It says soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Like, that's awesome. So then you have the World. There is, I keep hearing the word superficial, and I don't mean it in like you're pretending to be someone you're not. It's more, I'm almost getting this idea of you found your soulmate, but some of you are self-conscious that you don't fit in with their family. Or vice versa. I'm almost getting like silver spoon Capricorn. So if you grew up in a very wealthy house, and this sounds so like cheesy fairy tale, whatever, like movie script, but it's like, whatever. You're very wealthy, and then you're bringing your girlfriend or your boyfriend home to meet your family, and like they're wrong side of the tracks, and you're worried that your family's going to judge you. And you need to free yourself from that sort of, this is so Capricorn-esque. I don't know how else to say it. Like, you need to free yourself from that mental blockage, that barrier that's not allowing you to open up. And again, embrace what it is that you truly want. Not serving the expectations of your parents or your family or your lineage or, whatever, your spirituality, your religion. It's like you're by the book in a certain area of your life when I think universe is trying to get you to see the opposite. I hope that makes sense to some of you. This is actually a very good positive reading, so I'm struggling with this because I don't see what the issue is. But you already know probably, right? You're pretty self-aware, Capricorn. So area of focus. Some of you just need to, if you're not currently with who you deem your soulmate, and some of you probably aren't, it's saying you need to look harder because they're already around you. And I'll be honest, it might be another Capricorn or a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sag. So someone who's year of the pig in the Chinese zodiac, I'll be honest, I have no idea what years that are. I assume it's every 12 years, right? Yeah, I don't know. Who's year of the pig? You should look that up because I don't know, but that'll make sense to someone out there. Or something about pigs may be important. I don't know if someone grew up on like a farm or they have I don't know what that is, but pigs. And it's not supposed to be like a condescending thing. Like, it's not like, oh, they're a pig. It's like, it's something like cute. Like, it's cute. Aren't pigs super intelligent? Isn't that a thing? I think that's a metaphor too for like, get out of your head. Like you need to embrace your love more. Yeah. I like, King of Swords. You're very analytical. You love from your mind. You need to love more from your heart. Don't be afraid to express it. And I'm almost getting, I know this doesn't make sense to a lot of you, but I'm hearing don't be afraid to break the rules. Don't be afraid to mix up the ingredients in order to align you to what it is that you truly want. Sometimes you have to try something that is completely opposite of what you want in order to align better. Because some of you are going to fall in love with that, again, opposite, wrong side of the tracks. Capricorn, maybe it's Cancer, right? Opposite side of the zodiac. It doesn't have to be. But maybe you're going to do that and be like, oh, no, that is so not what I want. And that's great. That's fine, because then you can course correct. A lot of you are so afraid to make a mistake in love, you're not taking any sort of risks. And so I understand that that's a little bit convoluted because a lot of you are doing that. So you guys are going to be in different stages of this. I have to have faith this message is going out to someone out there. But yeah, don't be afraid to break the rules. Capricorn. And something about introducing your person to your family, it's very nerve-wracking. Or you feel very uncomfortable around their family or vice versa. Or you're just anticipating, oh, they're not going to like me, or oh, they don't match my standards, or the opposite, this person doesn't meet the standards of my family. It's not their life, it's your life. So get out of your head with that. Listen to your heart more. All right, so let's talk about this. Who or what is coming into your life romantically? Possibly an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Especially a Virgo is coming up here. A lot of you are going to cut ties with whatever is holding you back. So that's not necessarily the most romantic message, but I will say it's incredibly positive. That one little thing that's been a hindrance in you going after the person you want or bringing it to the next level, moving in together, establishing some sort of foundation. You have a lot of cards indicating a solid foundation with a person. So whether that's your story now or it's going to be, there's one little thing that's holding you back, and I think a lot of you are going to choose to like quite literally like snip. I'm not going to let that hold me back anymore. Can you see those cards? My goodness, Capricorn. Some of you, there is such a, I don't know if this is metaphor or literal, so whatever, it doesn't matter to me. There's a metaphoric makeover, or like I literally people making over themselves, like quite literally a new haircut. She's getting her hair cut there, or something like that. It doesn't have to be literal, but a lot of you may do something, again, like this extreme thing of, it's either defying the box that someone put you in and liberating yourself from it, the world. I'm going to dye my hair green just because my family is super traditional. Some of you are doing that. Others of you, it comes from a more, again, I'm hearing the word superficial, but don't shoot the messenger of, I like my life the way it is, but for some reason I'm attracted to people who have all these tattoos. So you know what? I'm going to go out and get a tattoo. Only some of you're going to regret it later. But again, it's like you're trying to meet the standards and needs of other people. So some of you are still going through the karmic lesson of, I don't need to give the people what they want. I'm happy as I am. Others of you, you've already done that and you've stepped out of the box that they've tried to keep you in, and you're liberating yourself in some new way. There's a lot of transformation, and for you, Capricorn, because you rule the body, right, an earth sign, it does have to do with, there's like a physical evidence of your liberation or transformation. For a lot of you, it's just like a haircut or I don't know, maybe you're going to get Botox. I don't know, whatever the hell it is. For most of you, I think it has to do with I'm free from who they want me to be. I'm embracing who I really am. It's like you're embracing, your inner rebel of like, I really am just like a goth girl on the inside. I'm going to dye my hair purple. Like, it's so not Capricorn to me, but whatever. Maybe you got very strong Sagittarius in your chart or whatever, right? In fact, some of you have a Sagittarius coming in. A lot of you, it seems like a Sagittarius may be taking aim at you, Capricorn. If that's the case, though, it's some of my Capricorns, this thing with the Sagittarius may be delayed because you're already with someone else. You may be having like a very casual friends with benefits type thing with another earth sign or, again, a fire sign. So there's definitely a Sagittarius for a lot of my Capricorns who are wanting to come in, but it's not the right time. It's like they're waiting to shoot their love arrow until this third party thing isn't a thing. So just be cognizant of that. If you're settling with the person you're with just because you don't want to be single and you're like, well, it's a good in-betweener, I wouldn't necessarily advocate for that because I think you have something better coming in, but it's like we got to get rid of the riffraff. So don't stay in a relationship out of complacency or boredom, Capricorn. Aim higher. Yeah, exactly. Four of Cups. I love when that happens. What else is coming in for Capricorn romantically? Yeah, I'm seeing lots of Virgo and Sagittarius, possibly Aquarius. Some of you may have very strong Aquarius in your chart or something like that. Yeah, you got new love. There could be a new love, but it's mysterious. It hasn't quite come into you, or it could be some sort of love. I'm actually hearing peace offering with a Pisces. If you're going through it with a Pisces, you guys may choose to try again or break it off in an amicable way. New love. This seems very positive. Oh, it came out again. Oh, you got a divine pairing. After a little bit of hardship. After a little bit of struggle. Okay, so this is not a prison sentence. In fact, some of you you're already out of this. A lot of you had to have your ass handed to you in life in order for you to reprogram. And again, that's what I mean. It's like you learned a very difficult lesson about the hardship of trying to be someone that you aren't. And again, it's like you got your ass handed to you. A lot of you have already experienced this. You know exactly that moment where you're like, oh, yeah, because that's never who I was. I was pretending to be someone. Again, in order to fit in, I'm not saying you're superficial. I'm saying, I think like any person, there was probably insecurity there and you wanted to fit in. And then you quickly realize, oh, no, I have to honor my truth to find who's really a good match for me. So a lot of water signs coming in. Ultimately, I mean, I know I'm naming a lot of zodiac signs, so it is what it is, right? I can't not. It's just in my nature because I get excited. But you have a lot of water energy here, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And it doesn't have to be water energy, but these are a divine pairing because they have elements in common. It has nothing to do with gender, so whether you are female, seeking female, whatever, right? Gender is not an issue. These two are pairings, divine pairings, because they have the water, the cup suit, right? So whoever or whatever zodiac sign you're dealing with, there's a divine pairing because they both have a lot of love to offer. There's an emotional maturity. There's sympathy. There's empathy. There's kindness. There's compassion. There's even kind of like some spirituality. Well, yes, spirituality. That's really not what I was trying to say, but it came out. So yes, you may have similar goals spiritually or similar interests. You may have a similar faith or religion, a belief system. It may also have to do with like a psychic ability, like you guys easily communicate without words. You communicate with body language and emotion and feeling. You guys are able to read each other very well. So if you already know this person, it's like there really isn't that much mystery there. You just might not be wanting to acknowledge it or seeing it because I feel like you have your head in the clouds with someone else. And if you come back to reality, if you ground yourself again, I think you're going to realize you have like a best friend or a partner who's in your life already that loves you a lot, but no one's come out to express the feelings yet. That's sort of what I get there. In terms of major arcana, definitely Pisces is the moon, but it doesn't have to be, right? The moon also has to do with our fears, our subconscious, our psychic abilities, our dreams, things of that sort. Kind of Neptunian energy as well because it is associated with Pisces. Moon also has to do with Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon, right? And you do have Queen of Cups, King of Cups. So again, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, very strong here. And then Sagittarius is the archer, so I'm wanting to say that. And then something about Virgo, or maybe, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of hits on this card. I'm seeing Aquarius, but then I'm also seeing Leo and Aries as well. So I don't know. You got a lot of options, or some of you do anyway. But yeah, you have the divine pairing and the Ace of Cups. My work here is done. You're going to be fine, Capricorn. If you're single now, something's coming in. And if you're already with someone, you may choose to end it to embrace your true soulmate. But most of you, you're realizing, it's dawning on you that, oh, I actually have a ton in common with this person. Like, I actually love them. Like, that kind of thing. So, all right. Yeah, let's do an oracle card and wrap her on up. Capricorn. Happy Valentine's Day, Capricorn. It says, warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? I love that. I feel like that goes perfectly with our whole thing of honoring your inner truth and not everybody else's. Don't be a people pleaser. It's just not worth it in the long run, right? And I do think that part of that is very ingrained as you as a Capricorn, to the point where you may not even realize it, right? In order to get ahead, sometimes you have to kiss ass. That's appropriate in some contexts, but if you're operating with that mentality a lot in many areas of your life, it's going to set you up for defeat, and there's going to be a confusion about your identity. That's a really good metaphor. It's like there's almost been an identity crisis with trying to meet the needs of other people, maybe even in a relationship, right? If you're married and you're unhappy, it's not to say you didn't meet that person for a reason, but maybe if it wasn't a soulmate, it was a karmic. Hence why you have soulmate coming up in your area of growth, because you may be settling for a karmic, but there's something about you've lost your identity or you've lost your inner truth and trying to please someone else. That Neptunian energy, I don't know if you're with a Pisces, but something about it's blended, it's confused, it's not really tangible. You can't pick apart the people because they just kind of merge together and almost like I'm seeing like kind of gas, like it's not, do you understand what I mean? I know I'm being a weirdo right now with my hands, but like, what's a better way to express it? There's fluidity in you guys merging things together, but then when you have to separate, it's like I'm confused about who I am without this person. Does that make sense to any of you? That's a message that's coming through. Okay, let's do this. Ooh, that one wants to be seen. Let's see if it comes out. Let's do a love oracle for Capricorn. This is such a cool card. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest call? Aquarius. I'm wanting to say Aquarius there. Oscar Wilde. I can resist everything except temptation. Hearts are made to be broken. True friends stab you in the front. You got all this sword energy too. Interesting. All right. That's what I got for you. I'm going to let you ponder those wise words from Oscar Wilde. Say that 5 times fast. Capricorn, thanks for joining me here today. I will see you next Wednesday for more tarot readings. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and have a happy Valentine's Day. Bye, guys.